Welcome to another Live Your Brand growth session. All of our sessions have been super informative, but this one is near and dear to my heart for two reasons. First, because all of these go-getters just completed their 4 weeks of Social Biz 101 training with flying colors. And the second is because of the topic of this conversation today, naturally me, mind, body, and soul. I've specifically asked them to be on this platform today because of each of their unique stories. I will be monitoring the chat, so please utilize the chat with your questions and comments. At this time, I'll have each of our guests introduce themselves. So we'll start off with Adey.
Okay, hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Shawana, for this beautiful opportunity. My name is Adey Chekol. I'm a self-transformation coach and also an integrative health coach. I work with clients into developing a new mindset to help them transform their lives to, live their highest potential. I'm also a mother of two, and I love just, my passion is to work with people and see an amazing transformation in their lives.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. At this time, I'm going to ask that AmiCietta tells us a little bit about her.
Hi, ladies. Good afternoon. Happy to be here. Thanks, Shawana, for having me on the show with all these amazing ladies. My name is AmiCietta D. Clarke. I am a certified holistic health coach, and I'm the owner and founder of Clean Body Living, a holistic health coaching practice where I help women with autoimmune diseases and other chronic illnesses to shift their mindset, to realize that they own the power in their healing journeys, and then to reclaim their health through the principles of clean body living, which are awareness, body movement, clean eating, self-care, and stress management, and reducing the environmental toxins in their lives. And I came to that point because I recovered from an autoimmune disease by shifting my mindset and implementing all the things that became clean body living. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Next up, we have Stephanie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Felder, and I am the creator and founder of FitFaith Life, and I am a wellness coach and nutrition educator. And basically, FitFaith Life is where mind and body and spirit connect. It's a faith-based fitness program and way of living. It's really a lifestyle so that people can connect their faith and their fitness and see the connection between the two and be able to live a fulfilling life that is honoring their temple and being able to look at nutrition holistically and not as a punishment for what they did yesterday.
Okay. All right. I got it. And last but not least is Aisha. Aisha, can you share with us what you do?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Ayeesha Frazier. I am the owner of Eden Holistic Health, LLC. And I, just like AmiCietta, am a holistic health coach. And I help people transform their lives. I help people find balance in their life. I help them make those changes, lifelong changes, to create a healthier lifestyle for them to live by addressing wellness factors that contribute to their health other than food. And we focus on disease prevention as well.
Okay, awesome. So my first question is, I hear this word, you just used it, Aisha. I hear the word holistic used a lot, especially over the past maybe 5 to 7 years. Mm-hmm. For you guys, I want to know from each of you, what exactly does that mean? And we'll start with you, Aisha. What does holistic mean to you?
Well, holistic is considering the entirety of something or someone, instead of just its parts. And for health, it's a concept of approaching a person's overall well-being as a whole.
Okay. And Adey, what about you?
Same as what Aisha said, we are more than our body, we're more than just a physical being. There's just a lot of aspects to ourselves as human beings. So holistic means looking at a person as a whole, including different areas in their life, like their nutrition, their relationships, their finances, their social life. Each of these areas and so many more play a huge role into what our well-being is, including our spirituality. So holistic means seeing a person as a whole, not separated from, different parts of themselves.
Okay. Thank you. AmiCietta, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, no, I agree with what Adey and Aisha have said. I always say that everything we do either impacts our health or our disease. A lot of us are looking for that quick fix, especially people who are sick. But as they've said, it encompasses every part of us. So yeah, I would agree with that. But just thinking about every single thing we do does impact us, impacts our mind, our bodies, our spirits, as we're talking about.
Awesome. And you, Stephanie, what about you?
I agree. I think that holistic, when I think of holistic, I think of everything that encompasses life, and basically being able to incorporate all parts of our lives so that we're the healthiest we can be, especially spiritually and mentally. Oftentimes, especially in African American communities, we don't talk about mental health as a part of our wholeness. And I think that is really important when we think of holistic health.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And that's actually my next question goes into just mindset. When you said mental health, it made me think about that as well. But okay, so you guys have all shared stories about your health and nutrition and how it's basically transformed your lives. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about today. Obviously, the transitions begin with having the right mindset. And that's something a lot of people struggle with. When you tell me, if I've been eating unhealthy all my life, and you're just like, okay, well, in order to get right, you got to, stop doing this and stop doing, like, for me, I swear, I feel like food is my weakness, and it's really hard to control because I love it. And then, sweets and all of that. So what what are some steps a person can take to get their mind right, to say, okay, I can do this. I can change my life by eating these things or, doing these things. I'll start with you, AmiCietta.
Thanks. So I would say it goes back to what I was saying before, thinking about that every single thing that we're doing impacts us. What we're drinking, how much sleep we're getting, our stress, our body products, if you think about every single thing you're doing, right, then that can kind of shift your mindset to help you realize that you have power to control all those things. But speaking specifically to what you were saying is that to realize that it's a process. When a lot of times, like, I'm pretty healthy now, I wasn't always, and people look at me and they think they can't attain that. But it's about taking small little steps. You don't have to go from A to Z overnight. If you're eating, a lot of junk food, you can start reducing the bags and boxes you have in your house. Then you can really start eating real food. Then you can move to organic food. It's a step-by-step process. But I think when you tell people it is that step-by-step process, it becomes less overwhelming to try to get from A to Z at one time.
Yeah, I can agree. I definitely can agree with that. Adey, what do you think about that? What's your approach? What would you tell someone?
I would start by saying, change your self-talk, because a lot of us, sometimes we have this negative self-talk that has been recorded in our minds since early childhood, which really affects our the way we perceive things, and it can really hold us back. So is the first thing would be to check, yourself and see how you talk to yourself, and then change the language. If you notice that you're too negative about how you talk to yourself about health, or if you're always saying, I can't do this is not for me, it works for someone, but it never worked for me in the past, so I'm not even going to try something else. These kind of things could really, really hold you back. So notice what you're saying about yourself and try to change those limiting beliefs. And whenever they show up, try to, add a supporting belief to that. If you're saying that, I'm too busy to make, a good meal or a healthy meal, you can change that into a supportive belief, saying, oh, I can make time to make a meal, a healthy meal for me, because I am worthy. My body deserves a good, healthy meal. So yeah, watch what you're saying to yourself, and also, learn how to cook healthy, make easy meals and apply it to your life. We're intellectual beings, human beings. We can learn so much. So try to, there's so many resources available right now, right? So every day, try to learn something new and apply it into your lifestyle. And also look at the people around you. There's research that says that you actually become like the 5 people that you surround yourself with, right? So if you're always around people who are not taking care of themselves, are always, encouraging you to eat unhealthy, just don't have a healthy lifestyle that you want to have for yourself, then maybe it's time to, take a look around you and start being with people that inspire you and you look up to. So, develop new habits. Every day, test yourself, challenge yourself, and, do new things that kind of lead you towards the life that you want to live. And all this requires you to jump out of your comfort zone.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. I love your points. Stephanie, let me give you an opportunity to share.
Sure. So when I think of a mindset approach, as a faith-based business, my approach would start with prayer. And, there's a scripture that says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So it kind of follows what Adey was saying, that, however you see yourself, that's how you're going to be. So you want to make sure that when you are trying to change or approach something new, that you start changing the way you think about yourself, the way you think about food, the way you think about exercise, the way you think about everything, and that you have yourself grounded in a belief system that will carry you through to your destination, carry you through to where you want to go. When I started my journey I lost 50 pounds because I needed to for my health, I realized that if I didn't do this with God, there was no way I was going to be able to do it. So that was my belief system that helped me to push me through. So I would say changing your mindset will also require a grounding belief system.
Yeah. Oh my. Okay, Aisha, what do you have to add to this?
I totally agree with all of the ladies. I mean, this is good stuff.
It is.
Definitely a positive mindset is key. I would definitely agree with AmiCietta, which she said baby steps. You have to take baby steps. I understand. I see a lot of people who get overwhelmed before they even begin. And, the pressure and it's intimidating to them, but taking baby steps would help, and applying those things that you learn, for sure, educate yourself, read literature that's, that's supportive of your health goals, your concerns that you have, read the literature, educate yourself, and start to apply that. Absolutely. And understand that there is a relationship with food and your bodies. Either it's going to heal you, it's going to hurt you. There is a relationship. And once you really understand that in your mind, that what you put in your body, what you put on your body is either going to harm you or it's going to help you. That helps the process. That helps to educate yourself and make you aware of what you're actually putting in your temple.
Yeah. I'm huge advocate for that. Now, I believe that you all went to the same school to learn about nutrition. Was it what's the name of the school you went to, Aisha?
Integrated Institute for Integrative Nutrition.
So did you all go to that? Was that where most of you went? Stephanie, where were you at?
No, I went to American University in Washington, D.C., and I got a master's degree in nutrition education.
Oh, okay. And AmiCietta, you?
I went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition.
Okay, you did. Okay, and Adey?
Institute for Integrative Nutrition.
So you guys didn't know it. So some of you are all in the same. Okay, so I know that you went to this school. I just want to know, like, what was it like? What made you take that step to learn about nutrition? Like, decide to go there. I'm going to start with AmiCietta.
What made me take that step? Well, it goes back to what I was saying. I was diagnosed with this rare autoimmune disease. I had muscle weakness throughout my body. I couldn't see. I couldn't drive. Dial a phone number. And I did all these conventional treatments, medication, surgery, but my symptoms just got worse. I had more weakness in my hands and legs. And my doctor wanted to put me back on a steroid I had been on before, but I told him about all the negative side effects, such as osteoporosis, glaucoma, and diabetes. But he told me I was young and I was on a low dose, didn't have to worry about them. And I went back on it. And unfortunately, fortunately, my symptoms cleared up, but unfortunately, I was diagnosed with osteoporosis. That was kind of the shift for me in my journey. And I went to see a naturopathic doctor. I changed my diet and lifestyle, and I healed. I've been medication and symptom-free since then. And I was so intrigued by the fact that I had so much control and power to, determine my health outcomes. And I was better at that point that I decided to learn more about nutrition and wellness. So that's when I enrolled in IIN, but it was, after I healed and saw that transformation in my own life.
Wow. I mean, that's powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay. So what about you, Stephanie? What was your reason?
So I had become a personal trainer and group fitness instructor. And I also have a website where I blog at FitFaithLife.com. And I really wanted to be able to give people sound information, because as a personal trainer, people always ask you, well, what should I eat? And, you could be like everybody else online, and, people don't know this, but everybody online is stuff. They don't have a degree. They call themselves a coach, but they're not really trained in anything. So I didn't want to be that person. I wanted to be someone who was grounded in research and grounded in a degree, but also I'm an educator by profession. So I wanted to have a degree that I could use in various different ways, and not just in my fitness business, but because I have the degree in nutrition education, I can use it in my professional life as a teacher as well.
Right. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, and then what about you, Aisha?
Well, being laid off of my full-time job is what drew me to integrative nutrition. And it was the best decision I made, the absolute best decision. I was laid off of my job, and at this point in life, I really wanted to seek out something that I was passionate about. I was always passionate about health and, and our bodies, always, the anatomy of our bodies, how our bodies work, the food that we put in our bodies. I was always intrigued, just kind of interested in that, how it would heal our body. What is it doing to our bodies? So I got a phone call from a friend of mine who was already enrolled, and she was like, you have to do this. And I called and I enrolled, and the rest is history. It was 10 years ago.
Wow. Okay, awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Adey, and you?
My journey started, right after my divorce. I felt very lost, and it was a very difficult time for me. So I decided to hire a health coach for myself, and for me to take care of my two kids as well. So she was also a graduate from IIN, and she really changed my life completely. I started to see things very differently. So after, her coaching program, it was so clear to me that there was a problem in my life, and it had to do with the way I, think, and the way I eat, and the way I just take care of myself. So I acknowledged that problem, I accepted it, and I decided to do something about it, which was why I went to IIN.
Yeah, awesome. You guys, I love your stories, and it's amazing how one thing can trigger something else, and then it becomes your passion, and then now you guys, it's part of your business, it's your business, So I love these stories. So let me ask you this now: if there is one key lesson you have learned over the last few years regarding healthy eating, what would that be? And I'd like to start with AmiCietta.
What I've realized is that the source of your food is really important. So you can be getting all the antioxidants, and you can be getting all the vitamins and minerals from your foods, but then if they have all these pesticides and genetically modified organisms, then you're getting a dose of that as well. So you don't want to do one good thing and coupled with a bad thing. So like really sort of looking at the source of the food, source of the water, reading labels, that has been like one big lesson, and being more aware of that.
Yeah, that's good point. Good point there. All right, next up, Stephanie. Tell me, if there's one lesson, what would it be? And before you begin, if you guys have questions, make sure to use the comment box or the chat box to make comments or ask your questions. So go ahead.
So for me, the biggest lesson I have learned is balance. If you deprive yourself of everything that you love to eat, you're never going to be successful.
Right.
No way you can sustain it. You just can't do it. So for me, when I work with people and they say, but I'm going to have to give up, and I just tell them, you don't have to give it up. You need to find a way to eat less of that.
I like that.
And enjoy life. One of the things about weight loss and, healthy living is that you want to enjoy it. So I definitely think that balance is the most important thing. So if you're going to have, cheesecake, which I had last night, do it once every now and then, but not every weekend or every week. If you're, so you want to make sure you're eating balanced meals, healthy meals that are, have all of the components. I'm really not a proponent of, eliminating whole food groups unless you are going like vegan or something like that. But if you're not doing those types of meal plans, balance them out. Don't just say, I'm going to eliminate meat and then,
Yeah, I get it.
That could be detrimental to your health as well.
Exactly. So Aisha, what's that one lesson?
One lesson I would say is definitely find your rhythm. Like find your own rhythm. There's so many dietary theories out here today. And, it can get confusing. You can get judgmental. People become judgmental. You really got to find your own rhythm and create the lifestyle that works for you.
Okay, awesome. Adey, did I ask you yet, or did I?
Well, no, but my answer is kind of very close with Aisha's.
Okay.
Bioindividuality. We're all very, very different. Nothing works the same for everybody. So just because there's a new trend going out on a diet, or there's something happening, in your circle, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. I'm a vegan. It works for me. Mm-hmm. I don't expect that diet to work for everybody else.
Exactly.
So get to know who you are, get to know your body, listen to your body, and then, like Aisha said, follow your rhythm.
Yeah, I like that. Follow your rhythm. Okay, so I know specifically I've spoken to two of you that have talked about how changing your lifestyle, the food, the things that you put on you, I'm going to start with AmiCietta for this one, has totally saved your life. Okay. I want you to just, briefly share that. And what are the things that you're doing differently I think your situation, even the cleaning products you use in your house, that blew me away when I came to visit you. I'm like, oh wait, this is different. That's different. So can you share that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, like I was saying, I came to the conclusion that, everything we're putting on in and around our bodies impact our health. So some of the things that I do differently, like, yeah, I use natural cleaning products. I use, sorry about that sound.
It's okay, we can't hear it.
Okay, all right. So yeah, the cleaning products I use products that are, plant-based, don't have, toxins. I use the Environmental Working Group's website as a good resource. It's a nonprofit organization where they put out lists of cleaning products and body products that, either have toxins or don't. So my body products that I use don't have fragrance, which is a chemical that can cause endocrine disruption. But I just I read the labels. One tip that I'll give people is a lot of times the front of labels give you that advertising. So, some people say, oh, it's, chemical free or, whatever it'll say on the front. But if you read the back, then it might have one chemical that's not there, but then it still has all this bad stuff. Or it's toxin free. So I use natural body products, natural cleaning products. I put all my food in glass storage containers because plastics have not only BPA, but they have other endocrine disruptors that are similar to BPA. So those are some of the things I do. And then, I do eat organic because there are toxins in conventional food as well.
Oh, girl. That's a serious mindset shift for a lot of people to focus, because it's not just what you're putting into your body, it's what you have around you, what you have in your home, and for some people they might say, that's pretty extreme. What do you say to them?
Well, what I tell them is, well, one, so that they don't get overwhelmed. Yeah, it's baby steps, but it's not extreme. I mean, we all know, for example, the air that we breathe has pollution in it. That impacts our health. That's something that it's hard to change unless we're going to move to some remote area of the world, which is, probably not what we're going to do. But every single thing, like our water that we drink, has chemicals in it. Even if you're using a Brita filter, it might not be filtering out all the chemicals that are in your particular water. But I believe every single thing does impact our health, and people shouldn't use it to say that it's extreme. It's empowering. You can actually change all of the things in your life.
I love that. It's empowering. Okay. I love how you said
you don't have to do it all at one time. That's what I'm saying. Because then it gets overwhelming. Because baby steps, I didn't go from using all natural body products and cleaning products and eating organic, the next day. It was an over time.
Okay, I got you. I love it. Okay, so take baby steps. So maybe the first thing is, okay, watch what you eat, and then maybe change your cleaning supplies, and then maybe you put in your hair. So I think that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
Absolutely.
So Ayeesha, I know you also said that changing your lifestyle saved your life. Can you share your story? And what do you do differently?
Yes. So although my health did not direct me to the school, I enrolled in school when I was laid off. But when I got there and I started to learn about the different chemicals and, that's in our foods. And I started to look at those and see how directly linked to migraines they were, because I was suffering from chronic migraines. And, we had a lecturer at the school and he started to discuss, aspartame, which is a chemical, that is found mainly a lot in sugar-free products. So I was a big gum chewer, sugar-free gum, and I thought I was doing myself good by getting sugar-free. But aspartame was, that's the sugar-free gum. And monosodium glutamate, MSG, that were in different products that I was consuming daily, and the Doritos and those seasoned chips and, all of those things. So when I began to eliminate those from my diet, the migraines went away. Now,
Wow.
this is after years of going to neurologists and getting CAT scans and MRIs. You know, they wanted to put me on caffeine pills, and all of my, test results came back normal. But I knew there was something very, very wrong, So when I had these migraines, my stomach would get upset. My head would hurt so bad that my stomach will turn, and then I would vomit, but then the migraines would go away.
Oh.
So I knew the connection. I started to see that, like, okay, something obviously I'm putting in my body
Yes.
that's not agreeing with me. And my body is starting to talk to me. Your body will talk to you. You just have to listen. We put certain things in our bodies, our bodies will respond. So when I eliminated those things from my body, I have not had a migraine in years.
That is awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
I just found the connection for myself probably 2 or 3 years ago. Like I'm not, I wasn't into nutrition at all, but I knew that I had a lot of gas all the time. And I'm not talking about just,
Right.
gas. I'm talking about like your stomach just starts making these sounds like, and it was embarrassing because I'd literally be sitting next to someone and all of a sudden I hear, I'm like, wait, what is happening to me? And there were several things. It was the fact that, and I think a lot of people have this misconception too. They're like, oh, I'm lactose intolerant. I can't do dairy, so I can do lactose. And they don't realize that lactose milk is also dairy. I literally had to change from lactose to almond milk. So I do almond milk. And then I actually cut out the dairy. I was like, let me stop with the cheese, let me stop with the milk and let's just see. And when I tell you guys, people were saying, oh, maybe you should go gluten-free. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should. And I just had no idea. And something just said, just try it. I think my sister might have said to me, Shawana, same thing was happening to me. I was like, okay, maybe it runs in the family, and then, and so I stopped and immediately no more sounds in my stomach. But every time I taste a little bit of cheese, the sounds come back. And I'm like,
Yes.
okay, so clearly it's what I'm putting into my body. So and I love cheese, I absolutely love it. So I know when to eat it now. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I want to talk to, let's talk to Stephanie. Stephanie, what was that defining moment that led to you transforming your life? I know you talked about you wanting to lose 50 pounds, but what was the defining moment when you said, this is it, something's got to give? And I want to ask all of you this question. So think about that.
So for me, I became a mom at the age of 40. And becoming a mom is transformational anyway, but doing it at the age of 40 is definitely a challenge,
Right.
especially for your body. So I had gained 50 pounds when I had my first child. Then I decided, this is great. Let's have another baby a year and a half later. Well, at 41, almost 42, gaining another 50 pounds, it was not leaving that quickly. So I wanted to lose the baby weight. That was the first thing. We all have an image of ourselves. We think we're going to be super mom. We're going to have that bounce back and, get that snatch back.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen for anybody, but it definitely doesn't happen at 41 and 42. So for me, it was also important that I was healthy and that I'm around for a long duration of their life.
Yeah.
My mom passed away when I was 13 years old. She was 48. So that has always stuck in my head as, I have to be here for my children.
Right.
So for me, this transformation in my lifestyle really was about, one, the way I looked and felt, but also being here for my children and being healthy and being able to enjoy being their mother for a long time and having the energy and the drive and whatever you need to be a good mom. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Adey, what about you? What was that? I know you talked about it was your divorce, but what was that day? The day you said, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make a change in my life. What was it for you?
The day I just wanted to be happy. I just
Powerful.
found out, I was so negative. I hated my body. I just did not like where I was heading at in life. And every morning I would wake up just unhappy. So one day I was just driving home from work and I said, enough is enough. I want to feel happy when I wake up in the morning. So that was also when I hit rock bottom. And yeah, that's really the initial point.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Aisha?
So for me, it was the layoff. I was unhappy, at my job. I'm like, it has to be more to life than this, and I remember praying and praying at my desk many days, God, come on, there has to be more to life than this. I come here, it's daylight, I leave, it's nighttime, I started to be very irritable at home, my family, the job, I was miserable, so I was just really in an unhappy place. So when they laid me off, my first response, I was upset, I was offended, I was mad at them. But then, I was reminded when I walked out of there, like, remember, you prayed for this, like, this is your outlet, so that was my defining moment. I said, okay, now I can't just take another job. I have to do something that I'm really passionate about, that each day I can be happy and feel good.
I love it. I love it. And AmiCietta?
And for me, it was that osteoporosis diagnosis. And it
Okay.
wasn't just the fact that I got diagnosed, it was also the fact that my doctor told me I wouldn't get it because I was young and on a low dose. And I just knew there had to be another way. So I changed so many different things in my life. I eliminated dairy, which was like made a big difference in my life. And I was also working as a corporate lawyer, working 80 to 100-hour weeks. I quit my job. I just knew like I needed a full transformation, but it was after that diagnosis. I knew I had to take things into my own hands and make a difference in my life.
Wow. Yeah. 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 Osteoporosis. Wow. Okay. So, question for you all. So, for those watching who are saying, okay, I'm ready for my transformation, and, here are nutritionists, who know the stuff, So, the question that I have for each of you, I'll start, back with you, AmiCietta. So, I mean, for me, all right, I want to know, I struggle with this, so you guys can help me, and I'm about to write this down. What are some great meal options? Like, if you were to tell me, Shawana, for breakfast, this is something that's good and healthy, pretty much. I mean, without knowing me and knowing my story, what are some options that you might have, like, that are general options for everyone to have for breakfast? I just want one meal. Now, I don't even want the whole option. I want an option for breakfast, an option for lunch, an option for maybe midday snack, and an option for dinner. What would you tell me?
Hey, you want me to tell you the whole day or just one of them?
No, give me the day. Like, what's for
Oh, the whole day.
breakfast? What should
Okay.
I eat for breakfast?
Okay, for breakfast, I would say eat some chia pudding, right? So you're going to take 4 tablespoons of chia seeds, mix it with plant-based milk, and you're going to stir it, let it sit for 5 minutes, and put it in the fridge for an hour. You can Google it, but anyway, chia seeds with almond milk or a plant-based milk. Put some blue fruit in there, some cinnamon, some flax seeds as well. I would say that's good. But then you also need a little bit more protein, so you can even throw in like a couple sardines, and then make yourself a night. Yeah, you need some protein.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, chia seeds do have like a low protein, but I always like people to eat protein with carbs, just so like your blood sugar doesn't go up too much.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I would make a green smoothie as well, so you can get your greens in as well. And like, this is not a lot of calories. I mean, it sounds like 3 different things. This would probably be, I'd say, like less than 400 calories.
Yeah, yeah, I like
for
that.
breakfast.
Let me stop you there because I don't want to run out of time. Okay, so that's for breakfast, some chia pudding. I'm going to call you for those ingredients again. So now let's go to Stephanie.
Okay.
Stephanie, what would I eat for lunch?
Okay, so following what you've already had for breakfast, I would suggest something like a salad with maybe salmon, grilled salmon or grilled chicken, or a soup that has lots of vegetables in it, depending on the time of year. You know, if it's winter, you definitely want something that's warm. It's going to make you feel fulfilled. And, you know, oddly enough, there's nothing wrong with a good sandwich on whole grain bread.
Okay.
You want to make sure that, like I said before, you want to balance out your meals. So for lunch, I would make sure that you definitely want to have those vegetables, because you want to make sure that you're getting enough fiber in your diet.
Okay.
And if you're not getting it in the morning, you want to definitely have that fiber to help, you know, smooth things out throughout the day.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that we don't talk about, but it's really important to have, you know, quality foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I would say definitely something that has lots of vegetables. One of the other things that I really like to have, if I'm going to have something hot, is like a stir fry.
Okay.
Lunch.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Okay. I'm loving this. Okay. So Adey, what should I have for my midday snack?
I mean, if you can make, you know, those protein balls, kind of like what AmiCietta has said, but, you know, you can make those oatmeals, add a little bit of plant-based protein powder with peanut butter. And I mean, you can find a recipe online, but I love having protein bowls for snack, or, you know, your carrots with almond butter, green apples with almond butter are my favorite snacks to have. And if you feel like something sweet, dates are amazing for you. So dates are really good.
Okay. So I have a question. So I love the protein balls, but the ones that I've seen all add peanut butter, and I can't do nuts. So are there protein balls that I could have without nuts or peanut butter?
You can use honey to kind of have them stick together. You might, if you don't have, I mean, there's so many recipes, but honey would kind of help you have them stick together.
Okay. All right. Good thing. I'm definitely going to try that too. Okay, Aisha, for dinner, what am I eating?
Okay, so I love to eat. So and I love finding those alternatives to the heavy foods that we like to eat, such as spaghetti and meatballs. So finding that alternative was amazing for me. You know, with the Holista pasta. This pasta is made with okra, lentils, barley, fenugreek, and it's so light, but it's so good. So the name brand is Holista. And you can make your meatballs with millet grain.
Okay.
You make your meatballs with millet grain, and then you make your own sauce, of course. Some tomatoes, put in a blender. You can put green peppers, red peppers, you know, dice it up with garlic, and that's your spaghetti and meatballs, and it's delicious.
Wow. That sounds good. Y'all got me excited. This sounds really good. You know, a lot of people have this also a misconception that healthy food is not as good, you know, as the non-healthy food, right? So, I mean, that's always, and y'all just made it sound so delicious. Okay, so when a client comes to you for advice, AmiCietta, what are the first two questions you ask them?
One question I ask them is like, what motivated them to come to me? Because, you know, when I'm working with clients, I inspire a lot of people. I give out a lot of information, but if you're coming to work with me, I really want to transform your life. So I want to know, like, what really made you come to me? Mm-hmm. And then I want to know whether they are willing to invest in themselves. And I'm not really talking about a financial investment, but investing the time, investing to make that long-term change, and also to look at to envision what their life would look like once they've made those changes, to keep them motivated to keep going. So those are some of the questions that I'd ask them. Okay,
good questions too. What about you, Stephanie? What are the first two questions that are just really important to ask?
Well, one thing that I do ask is similar to AmiCietta. I ask them, you know, what is your goal? What are you trying to accomplish by working with me? What is your end game? And then also, really, I have a whole questionnaire that I have them fill out ahead of even talking to them, because if they fill out this questionnaire, it tells me that they're already serious, because it's purposely a little bit long, on the longer side. I want to make sure that you are really trying to make these changes. So I definitely want to know what your goal is.
Okay.
If you don't have a goal, I can't give you one.
Okay, got you. I got you. And what about you, Aisha? What are 2 questions that you ask your clients?
Same. What are your health goals and your concerns? And also, are you supported in making a lifestyle change? Because I find that so many people, especially in a family environment, you know, they have to cook a certain way, they have to eat a certain way, but the husband doesn't want to eat that way, the children don't like it, you know, so it starts to be, you know, a little contentious in that area.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, are you supported? Do your family support you? You know, are they going to pull you to Red Lobster if you're trying to, you know, go here and eat healthier? So that's really big.
Yeah, I completely agree. In our household, my husband, you know, was just like, we got to stop the junk food. And he started eating healthy. And, you know, when he went to go grocery shopping, he was only bringing healthy food. So we didn't have a choice. And then I'm like looking at his body transformation. I'm like, I think I need to go and do this too. And so when, you know, now the whole family, like my daughter, my 7-year-old, she loves the vegetables. You know, she'll be like, can I have vegetables? Can I have this? So creating a healthy lifestyle for your family makes sense. So we do the smoothies and the, you know,
Absolutely.
just, you know, what, I mean, just we're aware of what we're eating, you know, and portion sizes are very important. Having a balanced meal is very important in our household. So now it became our lifestyle. So I absolutely love it. And I agree with you guys. So we talked to Aisha. Let me hear from who's next. Adey.
So I love to, you know, really personally get to know my clients. So the first thing I would ask is, how's your heart? You know, how are you feeling? A lot of us get asked, how are you doing? But nobody really asks us, you know, what's in our heart and how we're feeling. And that really helps me get to know the person. And it tells me a lot of why they've come to see me. And the second question I would ask is, what's working for you? You know, because we're so critical with ourselves. And if we don't have support, we really don't see how great we are already, and that helps us in our journey to transform and get better. So I like to know what's already working for them. And I think that leaves clients motivated when they know that, you know, certain things are okay and they can get better.
Yeah, I like that too. I know you work a lot, you know, yes, with nutrition, but also the mind, you know, getting the mind right. If you were to, let's say, you know, there's someone listening now that's interested in coming to talk to you. One, what would you tell them to prepare themselves to come to see you? And then 2, how, you know, can they connect with you? How can they come and see you? Are there any courses or classes that you're offering?
Yes, so what they can prepare is really to start thinking about their belief system. How do they see themselves, and what are their beliefs in health? Do they really believe that you know, achieving wellness is something that they can do for themselves? So really question their beliefs. And I have courses on different areas of life, in nutrition and fitness, in you know, social life, and in relationships. So depending on, as an integrative health coach, I have already prepared the things that worked for me in different areas of life, and that's what I offer depending on what a person needs. So yeah, the first thing would be to really work with them and see what area they want to start with and focus on. I have different courses on that. They can contact me on Instagram.
Okay.
It's at I am Adey, and also through email, adey@adeychekol.com. And my coaching business is called Soul Works with Adey Chekol. It's a lot of dirty work that you get into yourself and get into the messy stuff so that you can come out polished and shiny.
I like that a lot. We're going to actually pop that, right up on the screen so that people can see that. So AmiCietta, you as well, do you have any courses that you offer, or how can someone prepare actually to come and see you? And then also, do you have classes or one-on-ones or sessions that you offer? And then tell us how people can contact you.
Yeah, definitely. Similar to Adey, really trying to shift your mindset and realizing that you own the power to affect your health outcomes. So if people are open to that, open to thinking about the fact that things that they do that are in their control actually impact their health, just kind of sitting with that for a while, that can they should do that in order to prepare to meet with me. I do one-on-one consultations. I also do group coaching. They can all find out about this on cleanbodyliving.com. I'm also Clean Body Living on Instagram and on Facebook and Twitter. Okay. So I look forward to connecting with folks.
Awesome. And Stephanie, you as well. How can someone prepare to come and see you, and how can they get in touch? Do you have any offerings?
Yeah, so basically, if people want to get in touch with me, you can find me on IG at FitFaith Life, on Facebook, FitFaith Life, and I do have a website also, FitFaith Life. So all of it is FitFaith Life. But in preparation, I would ask that people just really think about what their goals are, and figure out whether or not they are ready to make the changes that they want to see. It's easy to reach out, but making those changes sometimes is more work than people are ready for. So I just ask people to really evaluate themselves before they reach out, so that we have a common ground where we can work from, a starting point.
Awesome. Okay, Aisha, what about you? How do they prepare, and what are you offering, and how can they get in contact with you?
Okay, the best way to get in contact with me right now is on Instagram at coach_Aisha. And, I recently, in the past few months, have partnered with a company, TLC, that has plant-based vitamins and plant-based, like a multivitamin, spirulina, different products like that are really, really good. They can click the link in that bio on my Instagram and start their journey of transforming their life. But with health coaching, I still do one-on-one consultations. I feel like if you call me, once you call me, I feel like that's the first step. That's one of the hardest steps for anybody. Once they make that decision to call and consult with a health coach, they're halfway there. And then we'll take it from there. As like Stephanie, I have a form, to fill out, to complete, that gives me a better overall look of where they are, where they want to go in their past, what they're used to eating, what has contributed to their, diseases or conditions that they suffer with today. And then we could take it from there. But the first step is to give me a call.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, that's our time today. We made it right on time. I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for giving of yourselves, your time, your energy, your resources, your knowledge, for sharing that with us. I truly, truly appreciate this. And I wish you all the very, very best in each of your individual endeavors. You guys are watching the Live Your Brand Growth Training today. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll make sure to try to answer all of the questions that you've submitted and all your comments. Thank you again. Have a blessed day.